Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we're here taking a look at another track preview from Stray Kids entitled Stray Kids. So in my gut, I'm telling you right now, there's probably going to be a ton of Easter eggs in this. If they're naming something after their official group name, then there's going to be a lot of references to past experiences most likely, and it's, I don't know, maybe sentimental, maybe not, I have no idea. Sometimes when they do tracks that are very niche and tailored to them as a group, not just in sound, but in lyricism, where they're talking about themselves as a group, I feel like a lot of times it takes a very humorous approach, but here, I mean, it can kind of swing either. So I'm expecting some good stuff coming out of this. So let's go ahead and check it out. There's some coffee. Lino wanted some coffee and Felix was able to get some, so that's good.
We're gonna go away to places still unknown. We're gonna show.
This isn't Felix's voice, but he's mouthing it. Wow. Wow. What'd I tell y'all? They said we're tackling everything. Wow! Oh, the keys! So many keys. Nice. Oh God, I am so hopeful that they do a like legit visual. Like, of course this is like a visual, but a music video visual of some kind that's gonna just make this an extended cut or something. This is awesome. Okay, so references all over the freaking place. So firstly, whoever's singing is not Felix. I feel pretty confident about that. I don't think they modified it in post-production to give that kind of vibe. We're gonna go our way. This is just oof, just
to places still unknown.
The way. I like that we squatted. It was okay. Here we go. We're all running, we're all walking, so I like the touch right there. Mirror, I've seen it, they had a whole mirror era right there. I love that, all of that. Elevator, the usage of a compass for sure, for guide. Wow, I love this. That reminds me of the Stray Kids flicks, right? When in the theater, I remember this was in, it's not, is it Miro, right? Because you know what's really funny is that I always think of the dance practice of these particular songs first, because that's always the first piece of material that I look at for a song. And so it takes me a second to think, this reminds me of what dance was in this. Ah, okay, what's the dance practice space? Ah, got it, okay. So that I know that's Miro, right? Yeah. That's so cool. I like the fact that they just legit pulled from a lot of their older stuff. And that right there, District 9, that's the bus. And they used that whole bus in that earlier era, too. So it can mean many things, because Stray Kids still gonna rock on the Elevator. That's their first song. We're gonna head to the top. Yep, Stray Kids. Yep, and then also too, I remember, now I'm connecting, I'm learning to connect some dots even without people, I have people that like hype me and help support me as I figure these things out, and they also provide great context. So, discussions, I'm excited for this, my dear stays. This is going to be very fun. This is my first album comeback. This is really cool. But this is really, really cool. If we're gonna do anything choreographically for this, a track like this, I really think they need to pull from all of their tracks. Like, that's going to be the perfect thing that's going to tailor into it. Just like if you're going to put Easter eggs cinematically, you need to put Easter eggs choreographically, especially if you're referencing elevator, you know, a lot of that. There's also an elevator that's used in Megaverse. So I think like could that be our key to how we teleport or we transport ourselves over into different Megaverses, is maybe the usage of an elevator, because that's what they use in the very, very, very first track. And then I just noticed it. There's a lot of times they end up using an elevator as kind of a catalyst to different dimensions, is what it looks like, right? This is who we are. Ooh, and then what's that? Those look like chess pieces, don't they? Nope, those are, I'm an idiot. I'm so sorry. Those are their light sticks, aren't they? I just paused it. My bad. There ain't no last step out. So step out. Do they have a track called that? Okay, I had not watched it. It is it's like a recap video of their 2023 is what that. There ain't no last step out, oh, we'll never stop. Well, that's an encouraging line, because I'm going to be honest with you. So whenever, you know how old Stray Kids as a group is, right? We are nearing year 7. And if you know anything about K-pop, that is one of the things you learn very quickly, is the 7-year curse is a really, really big thing, that because ever since the law was able to modify and help keep idols from being put in slave contracts, the limit to a contract is 7 years. And we're like, thank goodness for that. But also when a group's going strong, a lot of times fans dread it, because you never really know, you never 150,000% know that they're going to continue on as that same amount of group, you know, until after everybody renews their contracts. You see that time and time and time again. I know in my case, the biggest, like the worst thing was Minzy not renewing her contract, but everybody else did for 2021. And that was just, it's hard. It was hard for me, but going to here in this case, we are nearing year 7 for Stray Kids. Now, based on what they're saying here, there ain't no last stop, oh, we'll never stop. That's an encouraging line, because it feels like they're going to stay together and they're all going to renew their contracts. They're all going to continue to represent Stray Kids. Or we've seen a lot of times, especially in SM, you see this a lot more with them, because they can't keep their artists, and you know, especially with EXO, and then you notice it with SHINee as well. There's a couple people they're still going to represent in their group of SHINee or EXO respectively, but they are signed independently with others, with other companies, so they're no longer exclusive. Now, will they stay exclusive to JYP? That's the question. I don't know, but we can all be encouraged knowing that they do intend on continuing activities with Stray Kids based on the context of their lyricism. So we can be heidi-ho, very happy with that. Love it. Oh, we'll never stop. Stray Kids still gonna rock. On the elevator, yep. We head to the top and on. I like the boom. It's giving, I mean, every time I hear it, I said it's about Super Shy, and then I've heard it in another track recently. It reminds me of Powerpuff Girls, that 2000s coded cartoon animation. It feels like that, but also feels like we're saving the day. I like this, where you have they're on the wings. I love that. There's Spread My Wings. That's what that reminds me of. I like the connection of all of them right there. That's super cool. I love the switch out right there, going from Hyunjin to Han. That's cool. And then the usage of the keys. I remember I caught my first Easter egg. I think it was their track called 19, and they had a door in their music video, and it had back in balloon letters, and this was way before they released Backdoor. And we also know we're all low-key kind of pulling for a Tableau Stray Kids collab, and I also know Deadpool, there's no way that Stray Kids is not involved in the new Deadpool movie at this point, because Ryan Reynolds released a video showcasing Hugh Jackman and Felix and Bang Chan. So it's kind of, it would be weird at this point if none of their stuff was affiliated with the Deadpool soundtrack, but I digress. But the usage of the key, the key is such a key element in their lore, or whatever they have in their music videos. I remember a lot of stays were very helpful to me in understanding some degree of the context of the usage of the key. So I like the fact that we have it used here. I love it when a group takes the time to reestablish and reinstate lore, but like in this case here, they literally said the track's called Stray Kids. It's one of those, if you know, you know. Like, no matter how much of a stay that you are, or as much of in my case, of somebody who's observed and analyzed their content, there's so much that you can glean, and there's always going to be something deeper and deeper that may not be released yet, and then you can go back and look and go, oh my gosh, they were already pulling that before they even released it. You know, they always do stuff like that, and I just got lucky, and I just got to expedite my process, but a lot of people had to wait years for a lot of these things to come to fruition. So I know a lot of stays are probably very, very happy with this. That's super cool. And also, I'm kind of glad too that they are talking through, or they're reinstating a lot of things. Elevator or tracks that were in the earlier eras where they did have a 9th member. But at this point, that member he's been out of it longer than he was in it. So I know a lot of people don't even consider him a member. It's still important to recognize because that was a relationship that they had, and the fact that they're comfortable enough to at least recollect that time, even though it is different, is still really cool, and props to them for that. So I'm very, very pumped for this. The 19th, man. Chicka boom. Cool. Stray Kids everywhere, all around the world. You make Stray Kids stay. It's a very true statement. I really like their quote more than most groups, because it's so real. Because it's like, if stays didn't stay around and they weren't supportive of Stray Kids, they'd be out of a job. You know what I mean? Because being an idol is technically a job, and there's a lot of demands and job tasks that are required of you, especially depending on what company you're in, and in JYP's case, with JYP. And so shout out to the whole shebang on this bad boy. This makes me very excited to see what other tracks they have in their previews, and it makes me so thankful that I marathoned them when I did, because it allows me to truly be a part of the album release in real time, knowing what I know and feeling more aware of a lot of the imagery, so I can better articulate, especially if there's a choreography Easter eggs, and be able to be beneficial to stays who watch my content. So thank you guys for that. This is very exciting. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. Like I've mentioned, I have marathoned Stray Kids' entire discography, or at least 96.9% of it. There's always something that'll probably fall through the cracks, I'm sure, but I've seen a lot of Stray Kids in a very short amount of time, and I'm very, very happy to be in the position that I'm in to watch them and be able to enjoy them alongside you guys. If you want in on catching up on my perspective or knowing where I'm coming from, I have all of my analysis released early on Patreon, and they will continue to get released on YouTube as Stray Kids has more visuals or more comebacks. So I know with Stray Kids, they release a lot of content, which means you guys are going to be getting a lot of content on YouTube for Stray Kids specifically, but there's a lot to get through, so make sure you buckle up. I'm pumped for this. Once again, my name is Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.